What's up, creatives, and welcome to another Romeo show. Coming up on today's show, we take a look at the commission piece that I've been working on last week, and we look at the videos that I uploaded, my Zentangle and my ASMR videos, and we also draw this doodle do. So, without further ado, let's roll intro. Hey everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. Hope you all had a good week and a good weekend. I spent most of my week finishing off that portrait that I started last week for that commission of the cat bingo. And I'll tell you what, I'm almost finished it now. Let me just show you it is pretty much all complete now. Here we have him. Pretty much, well, this is on an A3 size page as well. And as you can see that he's almost all complete, all the detail is all in now of him and everything. And as you see now, what I just need to do now is just do the more darker bits, as you can see through around the eye area there, and I've just got to start adding all the darker bits now. And you can see by adding all the darker bits now, what that tends to make the picture pop that little bit more it does, compared to the more lighter shades and the lighter fur bits, how much it really does sort of pop out now as well. And that's what I'm going to be going into a little bit more as well. It's the difference of using different pencil grades, rather than just using just the one pencil like a HB. Your shading is not going to get any more darker than what that pencil is made to create. So that's why it's always good to use different gradients of pencils. I tend to use a 2B, a 6B, and an 8B. So, because I like my images that I draw to stand out and pop that little bit more. I do. Whereas you can also they go a lot more. I use the lighter shades as well. I use the lightest I'll probably use. It's probably a 2H pencil that I tend to use. All the letters on there, they can be a bit confusing. The H stands for hard, it does, so it's the hardness of the pencil. That means the higher you go with that pencil, whether it's a 2H, 4H, 6H, the higher you go with the number, the pencil's going to get very, very light. So the pencil lead itself is quite hard, and it's going to get to a nice sharp point as well. So you can be able to do a lot more lighter shading areas with that gradient of pencil. And the B stands for the blackness, so the higher you go with those numbers, the more darker your pencil is going to be. So to get that real dark depth of tone in your picture that you're drawing, an 8B or a 9B is going to be your best pencil to use, because you're going to get a nice dark deep colour out of that. And then obviously then you've got a 2B, which is obviously a lot more lighter than the 8Bs, but it's a lot more darker than a HB. I tend to use a HB and a 2B as my starting off points in my drawings, and then I tend to move on as I get towards the end of the picture. I'll then start to add more highlights using a mono eraser, and also using my darker pencils to add that little bit more depth and to make my images pop. A prime example of one of my sketches that I've done is this Mandalorian picture here. As you can see, with the darker bits, it tends to stand out that little bit more. It makes a picture pop. And because the background was that little bit more out of focus, it was a little bit more blurred as well in the actual photograph, I had to create that more blurred look. So I used I think I just kept to a 2B pencil. Just used a 2B pencil. I didn't go no darker than that, because I wanted to create that depth of field look to the to the picture that I was drawing. And as you can see from that example, it's a great way of using the darker pencils, just so that it makes that image and makes your images pop that little bit more. What I'm going to do in next week's video, I'm going to do a quick video of a graph of a shade chart of the pencils that you can use, so that you can see the examples of, so you can have a quick little look to see how the shades look when you're going from a HB to an 8B, and then also from a HB down to a 4H or a 6H, something like that. Just so you've got a nice example of the different gradients of pencils that you can get, because it's going to help you through your pictures of what you're drawing, as well as making them look that little bit more realistic as well. That's going to be coming up in next week's video. And speaking of commissions, I've got another one to do as well. So straight after I finish this one, I've got another picture to draw. I've got another pet portrait to be drawing for somebody. So it's absolutely brilliant. Thank you for that. It was great to get another commission as well. So that's the sort of things that I'm going to be doing now as well. Obviously, I was saying this in my last video. So if you want someone to give that perfect gift to somebody, a great picture of their pet, their companion, if you've got a nice photograph of it and you want to give them as their birthday present, any sort of present, like any sort of gift, then give me a message on Instagram at Romeo_sketches, or on Facebook, Romeo Sketches, or you can send me an email, romeo@romeosketches.co.uk. Send me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible of any sort of inquiries or any sort of details that you're looking for and you want to be doing a picture for someone too. So send me those messages and I'll get back to you. So I uploaded up my Zentangle video last week, Wednesday, that came out. Did another beautiful picture of a Mandala style pattern. Came out really good. If you didn't catch the video, here's a quick clip. And if you want to watch the full video, click that link that's just at the top there. The video is going to be coming out this Wednesday. It's going to be another Mandala style pattern, it is. So look out for that. That's going to be coming out this Wednesday. And then I also uploaded my ASMR video on Friday as well. That was the fourth part of my Lord of the Rings map tracing video. If you didn't catch that video, here's a quick clip. And if you want to watch the full video, just click that link that's just at the top there as well. These are great little videos, they are. If you don't have to copy the pictures, you don't have to draw them or anything like that, you know, just to sit back, relax, listen to the sounds of the paper and the pencil moving and the pen moving across the page. You know, they're very relaxing videos. If you're into those sort of videos, there's lots more on YouTube as well, from people whispering, people chewing, people tapping, and there's also a lot of people doing makeup and things like that as well. So if you're into those sort of videos, you know, check those out. They're really great, relaxing videos to watch and just to chill out to. And now let's move on to today's quick draw doodle do. We are going to be drawing this Zentangle optical illusion style pattern. As you can see, it looks quite complicated, the end result of it, but trust me, it ain't that hard to do. So pause the video, grab yourself a pen and paper. You can use a ruler as well, because you're going to be working within a square as well. So if you want to grab a ruler too, grab one of those. It's not necessary. You can draw a freehand square as well. It's not necessary. But yeah, grab those items, come back, and let's get down on the video. Okay, right. As you can see, I'm just going to be using a normal micron Pigment pen here. And as you can see, I've drawn 3 boxes just so I'm going to show you the different examples of the ways you can draw this pattern. The end one here I'm going to draw is they're going to be like a triangle version of what we're going to do here. But here we're going to do a square one. I'm going to do one side going one way, the one side the other. So when you draw the 2 patterns together, you can create even bigger patterns. Not only can you just create just that one pattern as well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start off in this corner here, and we're just going to move to this part of that square. There we are. So we're just going to take that one line and just move it to there we are. Then we're going to take this line here and we're just going to move it to that part of the square. There, like that. And then we're going to take that line and we're just going to draw it to there. You can see the type of motion that we're going to go in. Now from here, we're going to go to this line here. And that is the style of motion and pattern you're going to go with. You're always going to go with just that one few centimeters just ahead of the line that you did previously, and you're going to continue with that all the way until you get to the center. So carry on with doing that. Before you know it, you'll be doing it like how I'm doing it now without having to stop. It will start to look a little bit confusing for you because you'll start to see it start to turn like how it's doing now. But if you still carry on focusing on where the lines are going and where they're going to stop, you'll find it not to be so difficult for you. And then as you carry on going, you'll get to the center. And there we go. And as you can see how that looks now, it looks like quite complicated. So if you say to someone, draw that for me, they'll spend a bit of time trying to work out how you drew that, but you can see how easily it was drawn. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to start again. As I started on this one, I started on this corner here. What I'm going to do is this time I'm going to start on this corner and go in the opposite way, and you'll see the pattern that it will create next to each other. Now if you was to put those 2 patterns together and then do another 2 on top of that, you could create a really big square Zentangle pattern you can. So if we go in the opposite way, we're going to go there, 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 and there. And this was going to carry on with that pattern just by going in the opposite direction. And you're going to carry on doing this just like how we did the first one there as well, until you get to the center. Now you can do variations of this square pattern. You can, like I say, you can do 4 of them. You can even incorporate some of the triangle ones that we're going to be doing in a minute as well. And as you can see, we just get to the center, and there we have it. Now you can see now the pattern that it will create when the 2 are stuck together now as well. You can see the sort of pattern it will create. Now if you did another 2 above that, you could create an even bigger type of pattern as well. And what you can do just to add that little bit more depth to it as well, like we always like to do now, you can always just add that little bit of a pencil to the edges as well, and that's what's going to create that little bit more depth. You do it from the center there as well into your pattern too. So just by adding that little bit of pencil into your artwork just helps to create that little bit more depth to it. Then with your blending stamp as well, or your tissue, cotton bud, anything like that, blend out those edges to the top there, and you'll see it create that little bit more depth to your image. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to create a triangle one as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to halve that bit there, and it's the same principle of what we use for here, but this time obviously you're only using the 3 sides. So we're going to go from here to there, and then from here we're going to come to here, and then from here we're going to go there. Same principle again, to there, to there, there, and then there. Probably a good idea is just to watch how I do these patterns first before you try to attempt them, but it is quite easy just to follow along with it too as well. And there you go, there's that one done. And then we can do the same sort of thing here as well. What we'll do is we'll take that one up the top to there, and then we're going to bring it back into that part there. Bring it up, always going in front of your last line that you drew. And as you get to the end, you can just tail it off as you get to the center. There you go. So you have that, and you can see the sort of pattern that that one created now as well. You know, you've got that sort of large area there you have in those bits there. Now you could do another 2 there with the same diagonal, or you could do a cross shape and you can do a pattern with inside that cross as well. So it's all different types of variations you can do with just by learning that one pattern there. So that was this quick draw doodle this was, of drawing this Zentangle optical illusion picture. Have fun with this one, everybody. And I want to see your results too. How cool was that pattern, eh? How did you guys find it? Easy? Hard? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you guys thought of it. And if you've done a good job, send me a picture of what you did. I want to see your artwork. So you can either send that to me as a messenger, either on Instagram, or you can send it to me on Facebook. And that's the end of the show, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, click the bell, and turn on notifications so you know when I upload a new video. Have a good week, everybody, and I'll catch you next Tuesday. Peace out.